Yeah, I'm here. I don't know why my camera's not working, but I am here. So I just wanted to get on here and talk to y'all about like trauma numbing, because I just got off of the what y'all call that thing, that unknown caller on YouTube. I was watching the lady who got caught, who did it with her daughter, right? So I think Kendra or something like that. Her mama was catfishing all of them. And number one, I just feel like I'm glad she went to prison. I know that's kind of like, it's not, no, she should have went to prison. Like the stuff she was saying was crazy, y'all. And I just was like, what the heck? And I don't know why my camera's not working. That is so weird. I swear it was just working, no problem. Okay, here's my other one. So, no way, let's see. And I'm literally in a box, which is crazier. I know we just said storm. That's wild. But anyway, y'all. So like, and I want to touch on like how trauma can really dub you out. And I really think like that's what was going on with the mama. And at the same time, I'm not gonna, yeah, I really do think like she do have like some mental illness. Like that's the first thing came to my consciousness, like when she was doing all that. And then she's saying like, oh, people make mistakes and I don't understand why people forget that type of stuff. And like even sitting there, it just went like, it was just very emotionally removed. And I definitely think like I can pinpoint that because I I still have kind of a slight issue with that, but my self awareness has come up so much more, more. But in the whole, I know like that's why I can see it. You ever, you ever be in? You know how people say like it takes one to know one, right? I feel like that's how I am right now. Like I'm in the self awareness space when I can know like, okay, right now you're not expressing how you feel right now. Okay, there is an emotion trying to come up. If it gets to that point, like trying to be invoked, and I understand like most times I go into that space, what I definitely think is a combination of like trauma and survival mode, because survival mode of I'm just trying to get through this situation, I'm just trying to get through this time, I'm just trying to get through this, even though I feel overwhelmed, even though I know I feel overwhelmed, I know I just want to scream, I know I feel like I don't know what to do, but I should know what to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? That confusion. Or it's just I'm back, like, damn, I'm sad. Damn, like, I'm down, or I don't know what to do, and I'm overwhelmed. Just so many emotions over and over. And then, like, I know that most times I feel like, okay, stuff is feeling down. And it's like, it never really comes up, you know? And I feel like with her, that's something that she was dealing with. Because even when the man came to her and she knew what was going on, and just how even killed she was when he was talking to her, and even when she confessed, it was no outburst like, "Oh my God, I feel so much guilt. Oh my God, so much found out. Oh my God, it's off my shoulders," or "I'm crying because I know I hurt my child." You know what I'm saying? Or "I know I'm wrong." You know how some people will just bust out crying like when they do have some type of sympathy, or something is coming out that is like life running. I feel like she didn't have that, and I feel like that to me comes from that trauma and survival mode. It did come out that she did have mental illnesses, and I had called the mental illness thing when she was even talking to the police officer, and I thought the police officers was very gentle with her, but that's a whole nother subject. But the way she responded was like non-reactive, like she's not really giving too much of a reaction, and I really think that those things are done in spaces where um, those things are done in spaces where you have to survive, where you don't really speak up much, where you do have to be, I would, I guess meticulous would be a word, but like very, watch what you say, watch what you do, and that could be a manipulative tactic as well. Control your emotions so you won't, get into much trouble, and I feel like that's a manipulative tactic. It can be used, but also it is a survival tactic as well because you sway too much either way. You feel like nobody cares, or you'll get in trouble for it. So I definitely feel like that was definitely from repressed trauma, and also that came out that she was raped when she was around her age, and three, she did that because she was scared. Which in a pinch, I do feel like yes and no, it plays a role. A lot of no, though. I feel like, yeah, she was right, but she should have really got help with it. That does not excuse you to go torture kids. I do feel like she envied her daughter's life. I feel like her daughter seems like, the All American girl, the MVP type of person, had a boyfriend, high school sweetheart, and they really loved each other, X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, right? And I don't think she was that when she was a kid. That's what my consciousness is getting at. And I think that that's what a lot of adults have an issue with. Thank you, Spirit. I feel like that's what a lot of hatred comes in at, a lot of comparison. Um, and I think a lot of people got to understand that your journey is literally your journey. No one else's. Your journey is literally your journey. It is no one else's. It is only yours. Therefore, your experiences are only yours. Therefore, what somebody else go through or what somebody else has is just theirs. Now, what I do think that she could not see while comparing herself and her daughter was that you went through this as a child, and I don't think like she was the pretty girl or the most popular. You know when she hold her mouth. People with the bug teeth and hold their mouth open and stuff, and they probably can't help it. And I'm not talking about her, but I can tell she like the girl off recess. Like that's what I get from her, like outcast type person, right? And what she couldn't see was that yes, you went through all of this, but your daughter is way ahead of you. Not say ahead of you, but like she has a better life than you, probably the life that you wanted. So now that this has expanded and also results from your parenting because you're a good parent. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to what you did. All of I'm not, knowing her whole life because she did lie about her job and all that. Excuse me. So I do believe there was some manipulative tactics going on there. But I also believe that there were some things that she needed to work out and she definitely needed to go to therapy. I'm also getting my conscience that she didn't want to seem that way, like she was broken. So I feel like that's why she didn't go to therapy, but she needed to. I think that she didn't realize that people saw her the way that they saw her, so she would act like the social butterfly. She would act like the, like the life of the party and all this and that. Like, but really, she was kind of annoying to people. And the reason she act like that because she feel like, okay, now look at me, I'm getting the attention I wanted. Um, you know, it's like that thing, like, some people don't care about what type of attention it is. It is attention, but they didn't get certain attentions as they were growing up, and then she sees her daughter, who is probably everything that she wishes to be and wish she was back in her age, but also what she wishes to be because she still is trying to be Miss Popular, um, things like that. And that's not what it is. And she just can't, she just can't handle the fact that that's the case. Um, I think, like I said, to wrap this up, because I am getting tired as you see I'm yawning and I want to get up early tomorrow. But this goes into play with a lot of people in their life as well. Even when you don't get assistance with that trauma, you can see how this not only bleeds over into your other aspects of your life, like the attention she didn't get when she was a child and growing up, and the trauma that she instilled had growing up, also bleeded over to all of her relationships and how she acted in social settings. Her, i.e., trying to be the the life of the party and things like that. And even with her husband, seeing her husband, he don't seem too outgoing. Even when she was sitting there, she wasn't like hyper and like, hi, very social. You can tell like her mask was trying to be this super present mom, this super present person in the community, this life of the party with her friends, things like that. Very attention seeking person when that was her mask. Underneath, she was this person that felt small, that was made to feel small because of her traumas or not the attention or unpopularness that she had in her latter years. So she thought of it as a competition, and that's what a lot of people do as well. That's why a lot of people try to sabotage other people in their lives because they feel like their life is better, or they always get what they want, and they, all these things that people say. When in reality, you don't know this person. And then those same people that try to do all that, they try to be this, you know, this teacher's pet type of thing, or this boss's pet, or this kiss ass type of person, and or this manipulative type of person that will tell other people, oh, they're this, they're that. Are you like this person? How? Why? They this or that, or they always like just very malicious when it comes to speaking in their tongue. And I'm a true believer that comes from living living with, suppressed or untreated trauma, also untreated mental health. I definitely think the mom has some mental health issues, but not really. I think it's more so just her using the mental health and illness thing to suppress or to not speak out loud how she is jealous of her daughter. Because that would be cliche, you know what I mean? How there is still some relief that she didn't have to be a mom, but there is a lot of truths that she is going to have to face when it comes to that, and a lot of truth that a lot of people are going to have to face. And I strongly suggest people come to a space where they're not suppressing their emotions anymore. They come to a space where they get assistance with that trauma that they went through, whether they feel like it's bothering them or not. Um, because it does come out in all, if not all, relationships and personality, attitudes, and things like that. But yeah, so I also think with me, and maybe other people can speak on this, growing up being told, oh, when we get something to cry for, growing up not being able to feel like you're in a safe space or have a safe person to even speak to, or an adult that you feel like was welcoming enough to speak to. Um, when you did have an issue, you were told to not talk about this or that, or don't bring it up again. Um, that creates suppressed emotions because you were basically told to stuff it down or deal with it on your own when you don't know how to deal with it on your own. So then you stuff it down and just try to move forward, and then you just say, hey, I just got to survive and get through this. And I feel like a lot of our lives here as human beings, we are doing that. It's like we're holding our breath. I remember talking to someone and they told me, they said, you don't breathe much, or I hold my breath a lot and then I'll, take deep breaths or like very shallow breaths. But consistently, I will find myself, I'm a little more aware now, but I found myself like not breathing, like I'm holding my breath. And I definitely believe that comes from living in unsafe spaces, um, not feeling safe, living life with so many traumas and not having those outlets to let them out, or having people, hold me or be supportive when I was going through those things, because I wasn't allowed to let them out because I didn't have no one to let them out to as well. So I had to let them out later in life. Um, there might be some residual there, but at the end of the day, like I just be committed to releasing those because it's real. You have to release them. You really do. Da, da, da. I had a I had a live on purposefully being lost, and maybe I'll redo it. I think I deleted it by accident. Maybe I'll redo it. But other than that, y'all have a great, amazing every day. Love y'all for real, and talk to you soon.